Hello and welcome to the Tech Beat. I'm James Preston, your tech guide, helping you to navigate the bits and the bytes of the World Wide Web and the innovations that abound. In this week's edition, a number of social media giants are distancing themselves from Facebook, and Australia looks to implement more cyberspace laws. There's a lot to get through, so let's begin our download on the Tech Beat. TikTok, Snapchat and YouTube are the latest technology giants to have been quizzed by US senators over concerns about the safety of young users. During nearly 4 hours of questioning on Monday, the tech giants attempted to put distance between their platforms and that of Facebook, which has faced increasing scrutiny from politicians in recent months. Facebook has been accused of harming children's mental well-being and has faced increasing calls for regulation of the platform. But Snapchat told senators its platform did not belong in the same category. TikTok's public policy head, Michael Beckerman, meanwhile, told the hearing that TikTok is not a social network based on followers. But TikTok has faced accusations its algorithm serves harmful content to its teenage users, such as weight loss videos or dangerous pranks. US senators also have growing concerns about both censorship and the spread of misinformation. Some senators say legislation protecting social networks from being sued, such as Section 230, need to be revisited. Originally seen to protect internet providers such as BT or Comcast, it has become the main shield for huge sites such as Facebook, Twitter and YouTube, which cannot possibly review every single post from their users before publication. However, many US politicians claim the legislation is now outdated and social networks must be held accountable. As for me, I just want to see Mark Zuckerberg looking like he's come to planet Earth and is learning how to communicate with humans for the second time around. Good on you, Marky. Now, speaking of Facebook, they have admitted that core parts of the platform appear hardwired for spreading misinformation and divisive content, according to a fresh wave of internal documents that showed the social media company struggled to contain hate speech and was reluctant to censor right-wing US news organisations. Though, to be fair, why should the left get a free pass? After all, if you dare criticise the tripe that was the Ghostbusters reboot a few years back on Twitter, well, you'd get banned. But if you're the Taliban, nope, that's completely fine. You keep tweeting Mohammed bin killing volleyball players a lot. Anywho, an internal memo warned Facebook's core product mechanics, or its basic workings, had let hate speech and misinformation grow on the platform. In March, a group of researchers inside Facebook compiled a report for one of the company's most powerful executives, Chief Product Officer Chris Cox. The paper included charts and data highlighting a troubling trend that seemed to be accelerating. Namely, Facebook was losing popularity with teens and young adults. The documents also showed that the artificial intelligence systems that Facebook employs to root out such content frequently aren't up to the task. Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen also stated that the algorithms are essentially designed in a way that allows for outrage material to be promoted to users, which in turn can fuel more violent unrest around the world because of the way its algorithms are designed to promote divisive content. She said the social network saw safety as a cost centre and said it was unquestionably making hate worse. Alright, time now for a very short break on the Tech Beat. And in the vein of Facebook, drop us a comment and let the arguments begin about the pros and cons of having to take an ad break in the first place. Hi there, James Preston for Calkine TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. Calkine's Tech Beat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Thursday on The Tech Beat, exclusive to Calcine TV. Welcome back to The Tech Beat. I'm James Preston, asking you to swipe right on this show and then make the first move in downloading all this juicy content. It's a social media focused edition today, but most of the news surrounding these tech giants isn't particularly social. That includes news from Australia's cyberspace. Australia is considering new data privacy rules that could make it illegal for social media companies to direct children to harmful content. This is the latest move by lawmakers around the world to address concerns about the impact of online platforms on young people's mental health. Australia's government on Monday released a draft piece of legislation that would enable the creation of a binding online privacy code for tech companies. The legislation is expected to be introduced in Australia's Parliament early next year. Now, if passed, Australia's privacy regulator would oversee the development of a code within 12 months with input from the tech industry. The code would require Facebook and other social media companies to ensure that a child's best interests are the primary consideration when collecting, using and disclosing a child's personal information. For children under 16, social media platforms should get parental approval to create an account. David Coleman, the Australian Deputy Minister for Mental Health, said in a statement that algorithms that direct children to content such as content about eating disorders or extreme diets, self-harm content, dangerous pranks and other issues which are clearly not in the best interests of children would be outlawed moving into the future. Australia's privacy regulator would investigate possible breaches of the new rules, and companies could be fined 10% of their annual Australian revenue for serious breaches, an amount that could run into the tens of millions of dollars for the tech giants. Services like dating apps, chat rooms and video conferencing platforms could also qualify as social media, according to a government briefing on the new rules. These services would be subject to the same child protection requirements as Facebook's under Australia's new privacy proposal. Data brokerage services such as credit bureaus and major online platforms including Alphabet by Google would be subject to new requirements. But the strictest rules like the 16-year age limit would only apply to platforms in the social media category, and Google has said it has no immediate comment on the proposed rules. As for my final comment, I think it's a great thing. Social media is increasingly having a very harmful impact on emerging generations who feel the need to look or act in a certain way during their precious formative years. It's time to let kids be kids without even more pressure being placed upon them. Alright, well that's all for this edition of The Tech Beat. I hope you enjoyed the show, and until next Thursday, remember to keep your head in the iCloud and take a gigabyte out of life.